Hey everyone, welcome back and happy, Wednesday. All right, guys, we're getting ready to go back to Florida. We're getting ready to fly out from the Bahamas because our vacation is not sadly over. It is over, and thank God it is over. I am so ready for this. I'm not a vacationer. I know that that sounds so shitty. I'm just not the person who can enjoy a vacation. I love to work. I don't like to be on vacation. I don't like to sit there and not do anything, which sounds so annoying. I know, and I feel so bad for Jason, but then again, I don't, because he just spent 3 hours at a spa and he's also laying by the pool right now. So he can enjoy the vacation while I can sit here and be excited about getting back to work. Also, guys, I know that we're here to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, but tonight we will be back for the Vanderpump Rules after party at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, so get ready for that. But we're back to talk about some Joycey. So with that, I say, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so you know that there was some awkward moments, right? Because Teresa actually, she got busted. Teresa got busted because she was sitting there and, it was really Louis who got busted. But Louis was telling Teresa, I'm not going to invite Joe and Melissa on last night's episode. And that was definitely a busted moment if I've ever seen one. But Teresa Giudice suggests that the Gorgas have arguments about family as Melissa speaks out, and Jackie says Melissa's not that invested in Teresa. So Melissa Gorga and Teresa Giudice shared an emotional moment with one another during last week's episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey as the cast drew murals of Teresa's life. And after the episode aired, they looked back at their reactions. After Melissa drew the Gorga family in her picture and shared a hug with Teresa, prompting Teresa to reconsider her wedding party, the ladies reflected on their feelings as their co-stars weighed in with Jennifer Fessler and Margaret Josephs, admitting that they were just as emotional. We all started crying. It's so heartbreaking. And everybody got caught up in that moment, Jennifer said on the April 25th episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. But she's saying that and she's like, we all got caught up in that moment. Yeah, well, you guys all got caught up in the moment, but really, why couldn't the moment be fixed? That's the question that we have. We're like wondering what the hell happened in this moment to make it go wrong. According to Margaret, she believes that despite Melissa, I feel like, what? According to Margaret, she believes that despite Melissa and Teresa's ups and downs, Melissa and her husband, Joe Gorga, have been there for Teresa. Yeah, that's fair. Anyone can say what they want. Teresa has been through hardship. Her life has come so far. She turned it around, and Melissa has been there to see all of those memories. There are very few people in Teresa's life who have lived all of this with her. And at the end of the day, this is all you have. These are the people who have lived this with you. I mean, to be fair, that's actually a great point. That's a great point, Margaret. She's saying that you've lived through all of this stuff, like the best moments, the worst moments, the hardest moments, your parents passing away, your ex-husband being deported, you having to go to jail. You've lived this with them. They've seen you in your high highs and they've seen you in your low lows. Like, who else can say that they've been through this with you? I fully agree with that. I think that it's not that it's special because it's like, well, that's not a special moment, but it's important. People don't give Melissa enough credit that she is very sensitive and emotional. I think sometimes Melissa puts a block up. People have said, oh, she's cold. She's not cold. Teresa does come across warmer to people sometimes on the outside, but Melissa is very warm. After Rachel Fuda admitted that the energy amid the mural scene was heavy and felt funeral-like, Melissa agreed that there was not a celebratory tone. It felt like we were saying goodbye. And you see, like, I guess my true feelings came out. I started crying because I was like emotional. But as Jackie Goldschneider pointed out, Melissa's tears weren't for herself. She wasn't crying for her own pain. She was crying for Joe's pain because she knows how much it hurts Joe. I think Melissa would be fine living forever without Teresa. She's not that invested. I think that she's just so hurt for Joe. I know I also, and this is coming from Jackie, I knew also that moment, as much as Melissa was crying and hugging Teresa, that in her head was like, I have to go home and tell my daughter and her aunt well, that her aunt said something about her on the show. I knew it wasn't like a pure moment. And although Melissa didn't mention daughter Antonia in her Real Housewives of New Jersey after show segment, she did admit that when it came to her tears, they were her for her spouse. I got so emotional that the family is like broken and that Joe doesn't have that family anymore. Any of them, basically. Everything I do with Teresa, I kind of feel like, where's Joe? Because it's like her and I don't have that. Come here. She never, she never reeled me in that way. So I always just look for Joe because it's all about Joe for me. In her own segment, Teresa described the mural scene as overwhelming. I don't like to be put on the spot and I don't like attention. So it really meant a lot. I got emotional about that because I did remember at one point it was just the four of us and we were so tight. And unfortunately, it's not like that anymore. Well, we can fix that, girl. Hello. I love me some Teresa and Melissa, but we can definitely fix it. Teresa then took aim at Melissa and Joe's marriage, suggesting that the couple argues about their family. I don't know what goes through Melissa's head. That's the thing. I don't know her. You do know her. But I'm sure my brother and her have had the arguments regarding the family. I'm sure they have. Despite their many challenges, Melissa suggested that when she and Teresa shared their emotional moment during the mural scene, she did have hope for a future reconciliation. I've been through a lot with Teresa, and just the fact that we're not in a good place and she's about to get married and maybe change her life to go a different route maybe just struck me in that moment. I don't know. I would think she'd remember the people who were there the whole time. Okay. Well, that's interesting. But it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop because we also have another interesting moment, and this one is one for the books because Teresa Giudice didn't want the cameras to know that Luis Ruelas wasn't going to invite Joe and Melissa Gorga to a pre-wedding group dinner. During yesterday's episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Luis Ruelas called his soon-to-be bride, who was in the car with the daughters, Melania and Adriana, to ask who she wanted to invite to a pre-rehearsal dinner get-together at Avra, a beautiful New York City restaurant. Among those invited were co-stars Dolores Catania, Jennifer Aiden, Jackie Goldschneider, and Margaret Josephs, who Giudice previously had a rocky relationship with, as well as their significant others. But just to put the invite out to all of them except Melissa and Joe, I'm not inviting them, but that's what Louis, said before Teresa cut him off and said, the cameras are on, we're filming, right? She asked her soon-to-be husband before he simply replied, oh shit, okay. The Real Housewives of New Jersey OG promptly took her fiance off speakerphone and held the phone up to her ear as her younger daughters stayed quiet because they knew. You have to invite everyone. You can't just do some and not others, Giudice told Ruelas while looking at Melania in the passenger seat. And the couple quickly ended the conversation before Giudice turned to her daughters to reassure them that their uncle and aunt will be invited to the pre-rehearsal dinner that night. I don't like to tell the kids everything that's going on with my brother and Melissa unless I have to tell them. There's no reason to tell them anything right now. The wedding's a week away. I'm so close to my happily ever after. And earlier on in the episode, Melissa and Joe also acknowledged that their strained relationship, and I mean, it's just shit. They shared a similar sentiment on keeping peace for the big day. Right? I mean, you would hope. I don't think that. There's no peace here. Guys, go ahead and comment below. Let us know what you think. I am so confused, but also you got busted, Louis. Louis did get busted. Go ahead and comment below. Let us know what you think. And also, we'll see you tonight for The Real Housewives. Just kidding. Vanderpump Rules after party at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. It is 6:30 in the morning here. Sorry, guys. I'm just getting ready to pack and get the fuck out. Love you guys. Bye.